people around you, they are all doing tasks. And at different points in their career with you or anywhere and throughout their life, they are doing those tasks at different levels of quality and skill. If they get zero feedback regarding how well it's being done, you're actually telling them that the work doesn't matter. Welcome to another episode of the Physician Growth Accelerator, a show where we break down your private medical practice systems into vitals, give you the tools to diagnose root cause of what may be restricting your growth, and prescribe what to do about it. I'm your host, Zed Williamson, and everything you experience in your business, whether you like the outcome or not, it is the perfect outcome of the system you currently have in place. And the power in wrapping your head around that concept is we can take a step back, look at the system, determine where we need to tweak it, and create a different outcome. When you think about your team, do they know that you care? I know it might be a strange question, but here's what's interesting. If you ever wanted to make someone around you as miserable as possible, the easiest thing to do would be nothing. Just completely ignore them. Just come across completely indifferent to everything they do. If they do good, doesn't matter. If they do bad, doesn't matter. If they screw up, doesn't matter. If they win, doesn't matter. If they're a lunatic, doesn't matter. Whatever, everything, you just ignore it. That is how you create misery. What happens in business very commonly is we are really busy. And as the business owner, you can say to yourself, I don't need other people to tell me that I'm doing a good job. I'm driven. I know why I'm doing this. I know what's important, and we should just all be able to do that and work. Here's the thing, is the people around you, they are all doing tasks. And at different points in their career with you or anywhere and throughout their life, they are doing those tasks at different levels of quality and skill. If they get zero feedback regarding how well it's being done, you're actually telling them that the work doesn't matter. Now, imagine if I came into your practice and I said, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Physician Business Owner, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go up to every employee every day and say, hey, Bob, I don't care about the work you do here. And I would just say, let's do that. You would never do it in a million years. You know how incredibly detrimental that would be to the team, the office, the experience with patients, everything. You would never agree to that. And you're likely doing the same thing right now, just without the words. So it is important for whatever works for you from a habit standpoint. You need to connect with all of the members on your team at some level so that they understand what they do matters. That means when something is done exceptionally, call it out. If there is a mistake, call it out. Because if people don't understand where they stand, where they are within the practice and the work that they do, then misery is guaranteed to come in. One of the ways you can kind of think about this outside of the business world is imagine if you had two children, maybe relatively similar age, and one child you interacted with, you told them to do their homework, you said take out the garbage, you said, hey, let's go play cards, hey, let's watch a movie, hey, make sure you cut the grass, hey, you didn't cut the grass very well, be sure you edge the edges better, and the other child you completely ignored. What would happen? It would not be good. And sometimes we do this accidentally. We don't realize how much time has passed, and we pay the price for that. Well, in your business, there is no difference. The way we show that we care for people is by paying attention. And it's paying attention to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Someone who is doing work and is told that they made a mistake is a much happier employee than someone who made a mistake that no one pointed out. because it instantly told that person that that mistake doesn't matter. And here's what's also the other side of this. This is so fascinating. If you, let's say you have a very small practice and you only had 2 employees. I'm making it easy on myself to tell the story, or make up the story, I should say. So you only have 2 employees, and one is a troublemaker. And so you're always talking to that person. You're always like, oh my gosh, you did this wrong. Would you fix this? And the other person is super easy. They always do everything right. And so in your mind, you think, man, I don't have to worry about Mary. Guess what happens? Mary leaves. The reason Mary leaves is because you're telling her that her good work doesn't matter, that you only pay attention to what the other person does, which is getting things wrong. And it's such a valuable thing to understand about human behavior within our businesses, because you obviously care about all the work that everyone does. You would never say that, oh, I don't care about that. If they're doing it, it probably matters at some level. If we don't communicate it, we're actually telling someone it doesn't matter. If you would never say that, then you can't be silent with these team members. What this creates is an organization where the best people leave, the worst people stay, and you get into this recurring hiring. And you bring someone in, and maybe it feels like they're going to be a good fit, and the good hires leave, and the bad hires stay. You would never design a business. Like, imagine going to a bank with an idea and you want a loan to start a company, and you say, hey, here's the idea for a company. I'm going to hire a bunch of people, and all of the really good employees, I'm going to purposely act in a way so that they leave. And all the mediocre to bad employees, from work ethic and all that, I'm going to act in a way so they want to stay. And when we hire people, we're going to do the same thing. Any good new hires, we're going to act in a way so that they leave pretty quick. The bank is not giving you the loan, and they'd look at you sideways because they think you're insane. And that is the behavior that sometimes we do. We're not that aware of it because we don't need it. But that doesn't mean that that's how you treat others. It's kind of this idea, the old golden rule, I think, is kind of a broken rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You really need to be thinking in a concept called the platinum rule. And the platinum rule states, do unto others as they would have done unto them. And I promise you, anybody working for you wants to know if they're doing things right or doing things wrong. An easy way to also think about this is, would anyone ever be surprised if you were to let an employee go because they made too many mistakes? If they would be surprised, you have to own that outcome. It was your fault. It doesn't feel good to say that, but if they would be surprised, it really is your fault. Communicating this tells them they matter. And humans want to know they matter. They want to know that they're doing something that is for the greater good. It's bigger than them. It's bigger than all the other people. It's fueling their personal growth. That's what gets someone excited. And it's such an important part. It's really the foundation of your practice. Almost every goal you want to achieve is related to what that team can help you achieve, because you can't do everything completely by yourself. If you ever want to work with the Physician Growth Accelerator team about these principles, always feel free to reach out to us, physiciangrowthaccelerator.com. If you go to the website, there is a ton of resources, lots of places to learn, some webinars. There's also a practice diagnostic, a simple symptom quiz is what I like to call it, about the health of your business. A couple clicks and you'll get some insight into where are the places in your practice that are likely creating the highest level of constraint for you to achieve what you want to achieve. And with that, we'll see you next time on the Physician Growth Accelerator.